Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Atlas series. I'm Guna Mathivanan from Offices IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss one important, interesting economic topic, that is balance of payments, BOP. Lot of students, they have confusion in understanding what is this BOP. See, BOP is a systematic record of all the transactions which you do with the outside world. Right? Put it simply, BOP is nothing but the account book. Okay, all the transactions, like your bank passbook, all the transactions which you do with the outside world. What are the transactions which we do? We export, we import, we borrow, we go to tour, we bring investments, we invest outside. So all those transactions which we do with the outside world. I invest in America, Americans are investing in India, I import pizza from Italy, I export biryani to America. Okay, so anything, tourists, I go to California as a tourist. People from California, San Francisco, they come to India as tourists. My brother residing in Florida, I send money to him for his college fee. My friend is in California, he is sending money to me to meet my expenses here. These transfers, remittances, deposits, FTA, FII, borrowing, everything is external transactions, right? Everything will be noted. Okay, these are all inward, these are all outward, money coming inside, money going outside, everything is noted in an account book, a ledger, that is called as BOP. But this is not one single book, you will actually have two books. This BOP I am dividing into two categories. One is called as current account. One is called as current account. Another one is called as capital account. One is called as current account. Another one is called as capital account. So in current account, I will be noting down items like exports, imports, right, remittances, gifts, grants, all these items I will be putting it under current account. Under capital account, I will be noting down my external borrowing, FDI, FII, NRI deposits, trade credit, etc. So what I am doing, all the transactions which I do with the outside world, that is recorded under a heading called as balance of payments. But that account, that transactions are recorded, right? I am recording it under two headings. One is called as current account and another one is called as capital account. I'll give you a clue to differentiate these two. I'll give you a small clue. All the one-way transactions you can put it here. All the two-way transactions you can put it here. When I say one-way transaction, see, I export something, I will receive money. Will I give that money back? I receive money, will I give that money back? No, one-way transaction. I import something, I will pay the money. Will I get the money back? No, one-way transaction. Remittances. My brother is sending money to my account. Okay, is it a loan? No. Let us say children staying in abroad, they send money to their parents. I am staying in California, I send money to my wife in Chennai. Okay, all these are remittances, one-way transaction. Gifts and grants. Okay, gifts and grants. So we go to other country, we give some grants to other countries, or other countries will give grants to us. Will we give that back? So these are one-way. All the one-way transactions which we do with the external world, I am putting it under the current account. Two-way transaction, external borrowing. I borrow, I have to repay. I am borrowing, I have to repay. FDI, FII. I invest, that can be disinvested. The investment can be taken back. NRI deposits. NRI depositing money, they will withdraw that money. Money borrowed for trade purposes has to be repaid. So all the two-way will come under capital account. In these two headings, we will be noting down the transactions. Okay. So now what I am going to do is, this current account I am going to redraw. I will redraw this current account into two headings further. In the first heading, I am writing it as balance of trade. Balance of trade. Second partition, I am writing it as net invisibles. I am writing it as net invisibles. So what I am doing, this current account I am dividing into two subheadings. Balance of payment is a very big account. I am dividing into two accounts, current account, capital account. Current account I am further dividing into two accounts. One is called as balance of trade, another one is called as net invisibles. So under the balance of trade, I will be noting down the exports and imports of goods only. I will take the exports, I will note down the exports and imports of goods only. In the net invisibles, I will note down the exports and imports of services. I will note down the exports and imports of services. I will note down the remittances. I will note down the gifts, grants, all those stuff. Are you clear? Balance of payment, I am dividing into current account and capital account. The current account I am dividing into balance of trade and net invisibles. Under balance of trade, I will be having export imports of goods only, that I will note down. In the net invisibles, I will note down the export imports of services. I will note down the remittances, gifts, grants, all those informations. Okay. Friends, if you take the Indian context, balance of trade, this balance of trade will be unfavorable for us. It will be unfavorable for us. Why it is unfavorable? Our exports and imports, unfavorable is what? When I have more exports, less imports, it is favorable. In the case of India, balance of trade, this we refer it as BOT. BOT is unfavorable because our imports of goods is so high when compared to the exports of goods. Our imports of goods are so high when compared to our exports of goods. So it is unfavorable. Balance of trade is unfavorable. But when you take this net invisibles, our services exports are high. Our services exports are high. Our inward remittances are high. Okay. So our net invisibles will be favorable in India. It's a very important from prelims point of view, friends. So in Indian context, balance of trade will be unfavorable and net services will be favorable. So balance of trade will be negative, net invisibles will be positive. But if you take current account, current account is nothing but balance of trade plus net invisibles. This one plus this one, we get current account. And if you take current account, that we are having deficit. Remember, in Indian context, current account is having deficit, balance of trade is having deficit, net invisibles is positive, balance of trade is negative, net invisibles is positive, but when you add both, that is current account, right? When you add both, that is negative. We are having a deficit situation. In India, we have current account deficit. What about capital account? In capital account, we will have surplus. In capital account, we will have surplus. That is borrowing, FDI, FII, NRI deposits. This FDI, FII, NRI deposits is a huge amount. In capital account as a whole, we are having surplus. In current account, we are having deficit. Right? What about BOP? BOP is favorable or unfavorable? BOP is nothing but current account plus capital account. BOP is nothing but current account, this current account and capital account. If you add these two, so if you add these two, that is balance of payment. Our current account is negative, our capital account is surplus. But when you add this current account and capital account, in India, the balance of payment is favorable. The balance of payment is favorable. From exam point of view, which we should know which is favorable, which is unfavorable. Okay, I will write it once again briefly. So, balance of payments is nothing but an account which will note down all the transactions which you do with the outside world. So, which has current account and capital account. This current account I am further dividing into balance of trade, and net invisibles. Okay. Now, which is favorable, which is unfavorable, that I will write. Balance of trade in the Indian context is unfavorable. In Indian context, net invisibles is favorable. When you add these two, you will get current account. But when you add these two, current account is actually having negative, that is unfavorable. I hope you are able to understand. Unfavorable means negative, deficit. Okay, favorable means positive, surplus. When you add this balance of trade and net invisibles, our current account is unfavorable only. It is negative only. It is deficit only. All are correct. Our current account is unfavorable. Our current account is deficit. Our current account is negative. All are correct. Now, what about our capital account? What about our capital account? Our capital account is favorable. It is positive. It is surplus. So, what is BOP? BOP is current account and capital account you add, that is BOP. Current account is unfavorable. Capital account is favorable. When you add these two, capital account surplus is more. Current account deficit is this much. Capital account surplus is this much. So, because of that, our balance of payment is in a favorable situation. It is favorable, or it can say it is positive, or you can say it is surplus. And this favorable situation is very important. We should have a favorable balance of payments, or else we will slip into a crisis. Okay, I hope you got some clarity. In this video, I have just explained the components of balance of payments. We have not analyzed much. But in the coming videos, please follow. In the coming videos, I will explain what is current account convertibility, what is capital account convertibility, what happened in 1991. We were having balance of payment crisis. In 1991, we were having BOP crisis. IMF was coming and trying to help us. Today, Sri Lanka is having this BOP crisis. Pakistan is having this BOP crisis. IMF once again comes and helps. What is this current account convertibility? What is this capital account convertibility? I am going to make a series of videos on these topics. In this series, I am doing this basic video here. Okay, so you understand this basic video, watch this topic again and again, get some clarity, so that you will be understanding my following videos related to this topic. Right? I hope you got clarity. I will see you in another video. Till then, bye. Take care.